Dude.
Did y'all like it when Tony yelled for Chino to come get him for 35 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm like, if someone doesn't go get Chino, I'm gonna. It was awful. It was so long. I'm here, Chino. Come get me. I want you to find me, Chino. Forever.
At least they didn't do a song for it. That would have been
Chino,
Oh, God.
I want you to find
come
me.
kill
Yeah.
me, Chino.
Welcome back to the big room. We watched a West Side Story and not the good one.
Yep.
We watched the one from 1961 because we're stupid. When we argued about which one to watch, was that in the episode or was that after?
I think it was in the episode.
It was in the episode. Well, we made a mistake.
We made a mistake.
I tried to get us to redraw.
Well, yeah, we were going to cheat and we didn't do that.
Well, if we watched
Who's
the
to say?
newer one,
Yeah, the 2021 West Side Story, she says, is really good.
it's
No.
better. It's
you have
much
seen
better.
it.
I have seen it. It is, I thought, much better. As we got halfway through, not even halfway, 10 minutes into this one, I was like,
Well, 10 minutes
we've
into this,
made
we
a
weren't,
mistake.
we weren't out of the title sequence.
Yeah, I was
Oh
looking
my
at
God.
my watch like, is this still happening?
There wasn't a word spoken until the 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
That includes like the super long like cityscape whatever intro.
I didn't know.
They
But still,
just
my favorite part of the
snapped
movie.
forever.
I'm like, were the lines growing? Were they not?
I kept
it's-
forwarding and I was like,
Nope.
the color's changing.
We
But I
didn't
was like,
forward
what's happening
because
right
I'm
here?
like, I want to be mad the whole time.
Yeah.
So we just kept
it was
sitting.
a preview. It was a preview of every song in the film. Is what?
What?
That was.
You can explain that to me.
Well, I just did.
That's
There's
that's a
nothing-
thing.
In what way?
Nothing to add.
Wow.
That's a thing that they
Elaborate.
do in theater a lot. Like as you're waiting for a show to start, like in the theater, they'll play kind of like a mix match of everything you're gonna hear. But it doesn't make sense
But
to
is
do
it-
it before a movie.
Yeah, but is it really boring when they do it in the theater?
No, because you're waiting for your show to
I
start.
thought you were saying the lines represented each song.
Yeah,
No,
the
no,
color.
no. Like
Okay,
they were
that's why I was like,
actually playing
how did you get
clips
that?
of every song.
I was like, that's crazy.
the
Okay.
audio that we were
Also,
supposed
I
to
didn't
listen
go
to.
back.
See, I
I didn't go
fast-forwarded.
back and listen to verify that. I just read it on the internet. So
Oh, well, it
you
must
know,
be true.
It's probably true.
Yeah, that title sequence was horrendous. Horrendous.
Not a very exciting.
It was
title
like
sequence.
5+ minutes
It was really long.
of looking at lines and going, I think it's blue now.
We thought it was
Is it
broken.
changing?
Was it purple before? Am I going crazy?
I thought the lines were like, is the tape like broken for this part? Like the film?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't know.
Until
Yeah,
the color
you can
started, we
restore
were
it or
like,
something.
okay.
Yeah, we rented
Crazy.
the movie, obviously. Well, not obviously. We rented the movie because it wasn't on a streaming service that actual human beings use. It was on like Pluto, and I'm not watching that crap. I'm not sitting through 30 minutes of ads in a 2-hour movie. Suck it. So we rented it, and then with what, an hour left, our internet went out
Oh yeah.
at like
It did do
10
that.
p.m. And I was furious
Yep.
because I hate it when my internet
It's
goes
always
out
a
at 10
fun
p.m.
time.
So I came in here and played a baseball video game, and then it came back at like midnight. And I'm like, well, now it's midnight. I'm tired. So we went to bed,
Yeah.
and our rent ran out of time. And luckily, when we finished the movie, last night?
Yep.
Was it that last night?
Yes, it was last night.
When we finished the last hour last night, it was on Amazon Prime because it was a new month. So it's on Prime now. If you want to watch a horrendous musical, Amazon Prime. This is our second musical, right?
Yes.
What was the first one called? I don't remember.
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain, which was
Oh yeah.
uh,
Wow, I kind of blocked that one out of my head.
yeah. Well, I liked it, but the bucket really
I did
said,
like it.
"Oh yeah, Carl, you don't like Singing in the Rain? How about this?" Like,
What if it was worse?
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain. One thing Singing in the Rain didn't have that this movie did was white people in brown face. Oh my god, it was
It was
horrendous.
pretty cringe.
There's so many, and you said even the brown people were in brown face.
Yeah, no. Rita Moreno, who is actually a Puerto Rican, was still painted
Not brown
extra
enough.
brown. She was
Well,
they're
that's-
like not brown enough.
That's how you know your brown face sucks when you're like,
Dude.
you got to even it out by painting the brown people.
Yeah,
I read that they used over 100 pounds of makeup.
I believe
in this
it.
movie.
Wow.
It looked
Just
so thick.
think about that though. Like even like I assume that's makeup outside of a container. How much makeup is 100 pounds?
That's true. That's a lot of makeup.
Gallons.
Even
and
if it
gallons.
does include the container it's in, that's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet you it was all brown.
It was clearly all
even
brown.
the the shot. Wait, the Jets. The Jets are the white
Jets
people.
are the whites.
Mm-hmm.
The
Even
Sharks.
their faces
They
looked
look pretty
weird.
crusty too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody looked weird. Everybody's
It was all what, like 30-year-olds playing teenagers,
Yeah, I
which is
couldn't tell
also
they were supposed to
kind
be
of
30 or 16.
jarring. Yeah.
Like, are they in school? Or are they just like jobless?
They're just running around, being in a gang.
What a stupid movie. And then
Hoodlums.
so yeah, it's if you haven't seen West Side Story, it's Romeo and Juliet, but it sucks. And
Well, it's Romeo and Juliet set in the 1950s in New York.
you
and-
wouldn't know that really at all.
I mean, but you can tell it's like, 19.
I don't know if
not
I can place the
19th
exact
century.
decade.
Well,
but I could
when we
tell
get
it
a
was
shot-
20th
time.
century.
When we get a shot of the city, there's no Twin Towers in it, so it's either pre 1970 or post 2001.
Well, it clearly isn't post 2001.
Yeah, there's they didn't wear fedoras in post 2001.
No.
Like the cop whose name is forgettable, just like everything else that happened.
Officer Krupke.
She only remembers anything, by the way, because she saw the 2021 one. There's no
Yeah,
way
I did
you
watch
would
that one first.
retain.
Oh, true.
What a crappy movie!
It's an exact remake, like songs and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Except it was much less. It was more serious. It was a lot less campy. Everything had like a heightened sense of like meaning. I feel like the acting was better. The like fighting sequences were actual fighting sequences and not just like So
And you said that the scene with
Yeah.
where
Valid.
That really took me out of it.
yeah, it was jarring.
the scene where they where Anita goes to the soda shop or whatever.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
In Maria's stead, and they like push her around and whatever. She said it was like much more rapey in
It
the
was.
new one.
It was.
Mm.
I was like not looking forward to getting to that scene because I just remember feeling like, a little bit uncomfortable just because nobody likes to watch that. And then it was a lot. I was like, oh, this was a lot less scary. In
Yeah.
This movie.
So it's 1950s Romeo and Juliet, but there's like it's white people and Puerto Ricans, and they're in a gang. The white people gang is called the Jets, and they snap a lot. And the Puerto Rican gang is called the Sharks, and their only crime is being Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And it sucks. It's dumb. But so yeah, they snap. I don't.
They
It
snap
reminded me
forever.
of Tom and Jerry. Like they just like the gangster cat snapping in an alley. If you've ever watched Tom and Jerry, if you haven't, sorry. But they
Spoilers.
get into fights, right? But like they just they dance
Yeah.
to fight.
I was cracking up about that because they'd all be like, eat it, and like all like push at once, and then they'd be back to like twirling around the
yeah, they're like they're like
talking about beating people up. It's just so
stupid.
funny to
So-
like flip it and just so silly.
I have a question,
yeah.
and this is a real question because I'm dumb. In musicals, do they know they're singing?
What?
Or is it like,
in universe?
like, do they, yeah. Is reality like, oh, they're actually fighting, but as the audience, we're just seeing it as a number?
It really depends on the musical because like Singing in the Rain, I think like they did know they were singing
Right.
because like it's set up to be like part of their skills. But
I feel like it's meant
In
to be
this,
fighting.
I think it was
in
meant
this.
to be fighting,
Yeah.
and the singing was a storytelling, like a
It's like a narrative device.
right.
I felt so too because like
That's
the
a good
entire
question.
time I kept thinking about like, okay, if this is reality and there's not music backing any of this up, they are psychopaths.
Yeah, people are in buildings like, what's happening?
What
down
is
there?
happening?
Did that guy just pirouette after stabbing someone? Like,
I think
He's so
that's
dramatic.
part of the problem in converting a stage musical to a movie musical because there's just a different amount of suspended belief when you're
Yeah.
watching a stage production versus when you're watching a movie.
Right.
So I think that's part of kind of the translate. I think a little bit gets lost in translation often
Yeah.
with that.
You can be a little more literal in a movie where you can't kind of
Yeah.
represent that
I
on
feel like
stage.
it's more forgivable on stage too, which is
Hi.
kind of what she was saying. Like it's less weird to
It
not,
leans into the format. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not expecting a fight. You're watching a musical. But
Yeah, it
when you
makes
watch a
more
movie, you're like,
sense.
why are we still doing this archaic format? We could, liven this up a little bit and make it more like a movie.
like have you all watched
But-
Hamilton?
Archaic.
Have y'all seen Hamilton? The Disney
Yeah.
Plus like Hamilton. You know,
I've only listened to it.
You've only listened to it, so can I spoil
Oh, you
something?
should watch it.
I don't think I can do it.
Okay, you don't want to watch it. 'Cause I'm
Probably won't.
okay, I'm gonna spoil a part of like one of the visual bits in the. So is it when Hamilton gets shot? They do the
Yes.
okay. So when Alexander Hamilton gets shot, there's like extras, right? And one of them is just doing this through the air, and her arm is the bullet, right? So she's like, and the stage is like
Burr's gun.
spinning, and it's like Burr's gun. She starts, and her fingers like this. She goes all the way across to Alexander, but it takes like a million years because they have like the flashback lines in the song and whatever else.
Oh yeah.
That on stage is like, oh, she's a bullet because it's a stage and it's a musical that we're
And what
watching
else are they gonna do? Yeah.
in seats and it's a stage. But imagine you're watching like
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Like
yeah,
The
if you watch that on
Sopranos.
screen, you'd be like, are you joking?
and someone shoots you, someone's like, no. It'd be horrible. And that's like what the dance fighting.
And what's interesting about Hamilton
silly.
is
It doesn't suck.
well, it doesn't suck. And the ensemble function as sometimes like being the bullet. They function as like an on-stage audience. They function as supplementary characters at times, like, and it all just flows together and makes
Yeah,
sense.
mesh is better.
And Hamilton is way more forgiving to me because they only sing. Like
Yes.
there's no
True.
spoken dialogue.
Yeah,
in that.
it was weird. I just don't know. I kind of want to. Maybe we will next year. We'll have a West Side Story 2 Electric Boogaloo Redemption episode where we watch the new one and maybe don't want to kill ourselves after it's over. It's terrible.
2.5 hours.
So
Ay, ay, ay.
yeah, 2.5 hours. Well, I
You know what's
Singing in the Rain
funny?
was like an hour 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. That intro where it was just like the top of New York and it was doing like the bird's eye view. I
Yeah.
liked that so much. I could have watched that for 2.5 hours. I was like, this is awesome.
have better
It was
time.
like because you just and I was like all these cool little little cityscapes, but as soon as we started getting to the snaps, I was like, oh god.
You made the joke because Nick was like, mine looks like it's 3 hours and 10 minutes because he was on the Pluto version with ads before we told him it was on Prime, and you were like, it feels like 3 hours and 10 minutes. Dude, it felt forever.
It went. That's my problem with musicals is like so far every single one seems to really take their time and drag out. They're not afraid to like do 3 verses when 1 verse would suffice. It's like the people that are involved are like so egomaniacal. They're like, I can make this an entire song and I can choreograph it.
I'm the
and
star.
make an ensemble. Yeah, it's like this vicarious thing where they have to like show off through their musical, and I'm just like brevity is the soul of wit. Can
Right,
we
and-
be a little more
but
concise?
almost every song in this movie, they could have just sang the first line and communicated the same thing. Cut out the 2.5 minutes after.
I want to
Every
be in
song was like that,
America.
too. It was like
That's it.
tonight, America.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you
Officer
need.
Grumke. Yeah, it was like each one just kept beating it down so much.
He's the cop. That's the
Yeah.
whole song, but we did it for 5 minutes and we danced a lot. Sucks. But like
It was
to the
literally
point of its
what I would have said moment, and they just went on for like 10 minutes.
to the point of its length. Dude, we just watched a really long movie. We just
We did.
watched. I can't remember the
before
name of
that-
it.
Seven
Samurai.
Samurai.
LA Confidential was long too.
But Seven Samurai intermission. So did this.
Oh yeah.
And when the Seven Samurai intermission came, it was about halfway through. It was long, 3-hour movie. So we watched an hour and a half of it. Intermission came. Well, really, we told the story. We stopped at like 1 frame before
Yeah.
the intermission. But essentially, we stopped it right at the intermission. And we're like, this is good. We want to stop now. And we'll pick this up tomorrow. With this movie, the intermission came up. And I went, we have to push through this because I don't want to watch this on another day. Like, I wanted
Rip
to
that Band-Aid off.
I
get it
wanted to
over
get,
with.
well, it's so slow though. Ripping the Band-Aid off is getting rid of pain faster. It was terrible. I was being waterboarded by dancing men.
And it's not
brown
even-
face. It was awful.
Ah, jeez. I don't know.
Daddy-o. What a
The
piece of
dialogue
garbage.
too also is like it's just so funny seeing like 30-year-old guys pretend to be young and be like, oh gee, you think they could bring guns? Like it's just like
Zap
just
guns.
And I
funny
would've-
watching-
They call them zap guns. What's a zap gun?
zip guns.
Zip guns. Thank you.
Yeah, I looked
It's
it up
even
because I was
stupider.
like, is that just slang? But it's like a homemade gun. It's like a prison gun.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm like, it can't be a
Makeshift.
taser. Those don't exist yet.
But then they show up with like a full-on handgun. So I was like,
Yeah.
I guess Oh, well.
shoot this thing.
You pull the trigger, dumbass. What do you mean?
The
Stupid movie.
Like every other gun.
the bad acting would be more forgivable if they did their own singing. Like they just found good singers that had to act.
So yeah, I was
But
kind of like,
But-
some
Most of them
singers weren't
didn't
that
even
good.
sing. It was all
Yeah.
dubbed.
The singing was
Like,
horrible. It was so bad.
Tony, Riff, Maria, there was others,
A disaster.
all dubbed over.
Dude,
Oh,
So not
first-
only are they bad actors, they can't sing.
the first half of the movie, it got better in the second half to me. She just ripped
She did.
she's ripping the thing that we
She
used
just
to make
pulled-
the show.
Yeah. She did
Uh,
some things
they,
off the
so
table.
yeah, they hired these singers, and in the first half of the movie, I spent the whole time going, that note was flat, that note was flat, that note was flat, that was close, it was still flat, it was terrible. And then come to find out the next day, she tells me they hired singers who were ass.
They were terrible.
They were terrible. How did you hire?
They
How
spent
did
all
you
their
not
money
only
on
go through the trouble?
brown makeup.
Yeah. How did you not only go through the trouble to hire singers, you didn't get good takes? What? And maybe I'm too harsh or an idiot. And maybe someone with more singing knowledge than me would be like, "That is perfect. It's the greatest thing I've
No,
ever
there's
had."
no way.
It sucked. And it got better. The second half of the movie, I either didn't notice it as much or just my sheer will to get it over with made me ignore it. But the singing was bad, man. Especially there were a couple. What was the Tony, Anton, whatever his stupid name is?
Tony.
Yeah, the Romeo.
Yeah,
to
not
this-
Anthony.
No. Antone.
I know. I said the same thing. I was like, that's dumb.
Antone, because whatever. Yeah, he had some like
Antone
held out
Deaf.
notes. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
He had some held out notes where I was like, "You shouldn't do that." It was awful. Singing sucked. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to talk about Tony. The actor that played Tony had a lot of trouble with this performance because the director was giving him what he thought was bad direction. So I think a lot of the problem with some of the performances was the director because like Tony, I don't know his actual name, but he like walked out of the theater during the premiere because he was like, I can't do this. Like he had trouble delivering the romantic lines and taking it seriously.
Well,
So
and
bad
Yeah,
direction
he,
will
like-
kill your movie.
He wanted to be more of a like gang guy, a little rougher around the edges.
yeah, and he's just a softie, which is weird because
That's a good point, though. Maybe it was a lot of the director
Well, but then how
and
is
the
this?
direction that they were given.
How is this a classic movie?
It won so many Oscars.
Yeah.
How is this a
Was it a-
multi-Oscar award-winning
just-
movie?
A time thing, like you had to be
Maybe.
around during that time.
It's like 20 years after
Maybe.
Citizen Kane.
But like maybe at the time,
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
fair
know,
point.
everybody
Yeah.
liked it.
Just 10 years after Seven Samurai, we clearly knew what good movies were.
That's true.
Yeah.
What is this movie? It's awful. Are we
I
just...
can't believe I'm coming to the rescue for this. But I mean, there was good cinematography. Like,
I
what's happening right now?
disagree. I
There was-
disagree.
There was one transition where all their hands were up and they caught a basketball and like this is the problem though, is like all that stuff I would laugh at because I was like, how silly is this movie? But there were things where I was like, oh, that was a good transition. Or that was a good.
Here's things
This
I
movie
hate.
was so bad that you even thought the things you would normally laugh at were good. Is what you just said.
So,
No, yeah, I laughed like in Roadhouse where you're like, that was delivered well, but I'm laughing at it. Like I'm not laughing with.
What
it.
was
Like,
the
it's-
random blurriness though?
that's what I'm gonna say. So I guess most of the cinematography, I don't think that's cinematography. It might have been editing, but yeah, there was
guess.
really hard blurriness
Twice there
put in
was-
post.
Yeah, twice.
That was really puzzling. And then I said, and I don't remember what it was. Maybe y'all remember. I wrote down, and it's gone. The transition from dress shop to the dance was dumb. I don't remember that
Oh,
transition.
it was like the red kind of.
I wrote down
Yeah, it
the
was like-
opposite. I said,
yeah.
"Cool transition to the dance."
I just thought it
liked
was.
that one.
I thought it was very ham-fisted.
Trippy.
I didn't like it. I didn't think it
I feel
fit.
like it was cool for the
No,
time.
the
but yeah,
blur-
it was-
Maybe
The
in
blur
the
stuff
time it
really
was great.
bothered me.
But the blur was like,
It was
yeah, it's like selective glaucoma. It looked terrible.
no, it was like when you're in Photoshop, you got the blur tool, but your brush is too big, and you
Yeah,
have to click, and
too
then just the whole right side of the screen is blurred.
Yeah, except you can't Control Z this out of my brain. It's terrible.
It's true.
Oh, okay. Here's something I wrote. The feeling I got, that feeling I got when Marlon Brando sang "Luck Be a Lady" in Guys and Dolls. So we watched a movie, a Sinatra movie called Guys and Dolls, right? And it was a Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando, who's the Don in Godfather. We'll watch him later. If I ever get blessed by this freaking bucket. This movie was like touted as like "Luck Be a Lady" is one of the bigger songs in the soundtrack, and I thought, oh, Frank Sinatra is going to sing one of my favorite Frank Sinatra songs, "Luck Be a Lady," and then Marlon Brando sang it, and I'm like, what a waste.
Why would
Frank
you do that?
Sinatra's literally 5 feet
right
from
there.
there. He's literally right here. That's the feeling I was getting during all these songs. They're just not as good as they could be if someone better was singing. Well, it was worse in Guys and Dolls though because Sinatra was right there, but still, it's just the singing was rough. It was rough. And then again with the lines, like there was one line when they're meeting up talking. I think it was the what was the one that weren't the Jets? What was the white people? What were they called? Were they the Jets?
No, they were the Jets.
The white
Jets.
people were the Jets. So the white people were outside the soda shop.
Soda shop.
And I don't remember at
Something
what
like
point this was. I think this was when they were planning the scrapping. It was before they were going to meet the
Sharks.
sharks to plan how the scrap was going to go down.
War Council.
And they're like, yeah, they were doing the war council thing, and they were doing bits. They were like, oh, I'm the sheriff, and blah blah blah. They were doing all those bits on the step of the soda shop. And one of the girls that was hanging around the Jets, one of her exclamations, I wrote this down because it made me so mad, was "ooh, oobly ooh," was an exclamation she had.
And you can punctuate it.
And I like shivered. I was like, ugh, like it made me so angry. Ooh, oobly ooh. I'm like, who? And it's just that.
Didn't she have a
You're
specific
the kids
name?
writing insults.
I'm sure she did. And then like
She was called
It
Anybody.
was
Or
ridiculous.
something like
Anybody, yeah.
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 Her name was
Well,
Anybody.
the names were tragic, man.
Nick, do you have a fact about the lingo?
I do not.
Okay, then I'm gonna hit you with a
One
fact.
more thing. They call
Ooh.
when they were talking about the zip guns, they said blammo, blammo, zammo. I didn't like that either.
Okay, well, my fact is relevant to that. So the writers of the musical decided not to use actual gang lingo because they didn't want the movie to feel dated. So instead
Mission accomplished.
they used oobly ooh,
They-
daddy-o, cracko jacko.
Daddy-o wasn't real.
Because
It might
I feel like that was a wasn't
A
that an
made-up
actual term?
language for a specific movie is going to age worse.
yeah.
Oh,
Clearly.
boy.
So
Yeah, at least if they'd used the actual lingo, it would have felt more of the time. Now it just kind of feels removed
Like,
from
what?
reality.
Yeah.
From anything.
That's a weird point because you're making a period piece.
Yeah.
Why would
funny.
you not? Oh, it's a stupid decision.
I don't know. I feel
How
like that
is this?
doesn't make sense.
How is this movie so famous
I don't know.
and well regarded? It's awful.
I don't
Am
know.
I being too harsh? I hated
Maybe
it.
a little bit.
I hated it. But I also don't like musicals to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
And if your musical sucks, oh, dude.
I also
don't know.
I
think
didn't.
I was bored too.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
hate
Yeah,
it.
I was. Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of times where I was just going, "That was silly," or just kind of chuckle, like Carl was saying, laughing at it.
Yeah.
But I didn't super hate it.
Maybe I was in a
It was
bad
still
mood. I don't know. I
kind of
hated
fun
it.
to watch.
No, dude, I was bored
I'm
out of
kind
my
of
mind.
there with you, Nick, because I don't love musicals. Like everyone knows that, but like like the laughing at it made it like almost like a drinking game watch where you're just like, oh, here they're saying shoo to people again, and everyone's running for some reason. Like
What I got
like it was
most mad, what I got most mad at, and this is probably because I've never really I know the story Romeo and Juliet. I've never watched anything or read anything about it.
Right.
What I got the most mad at was how ridiculous Tony and Maria's relationship was.
Oh yeah.
yes, it's
So dumb.
insane.
Dude,
And that feels like a musical trope.
her turnaround, like after he kills her brother,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
it was
Fine.
like he had her back in 2 sentences.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
Well, and then when Chino's like, Maria, I have to tell you something, and she's like, just tell me, and he's like, at the fight, no one wanted it to happen, but your brother, and she's like, Tony, is Tony okay? And I was like, you didn't even get to hear about your brother? Like, you're crazy. Just not even concerned. Yeah, that whole like, they lock eyes and then like are just so
That's it.
infatuated
First
that
sight.
they're. I mean, I guess, but it's just so insane how like head over heels, like it's
That's
so.
dumb.
Dude
So
told her that he
Hollywood.
loved her within like 2 hours of knowing
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Did
I
y'all
was
like
oh,
it?
dude.
Did y'all like it when Tony yelled for Chino to come get him for 35 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm like, if someone doesn't go get Chino, I'm gonna. It was awful. It was so long. I'm here, Chino. Come get me. I want you to find me, Chino. forever. They did that for like it was
It was
at least
long.
3 minutes.
At least they didn't do a song for it. That would have been.
Chino,
Oh, God.
I want you to
Chino,
find
come
me.
kill
Yeah.
me, Chino.
So
Yeah, it's
okay,
like,
so
God.
the one song that I did like
I'm
was
curious.
Maria.
I don't remember that
Like
one.
right after they dance, he's leaving the dance, and he's just
Interesting.
running around singing Maria like 1,000
I
times.
just met a girl named Maria.
Yeah, but there was like, I should have written them
Nick's
down.
like, yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Nick
You
needs a
nailed
girl
it.
named Maria.
That's true. Maria, hit me up.
Hit him up. Slide into the slide into the DMs, Maria.
Calling all Marias.
I didn't write down any of the lyrics, and I can't remember, but there was a couple lines in that song. I was like, "That's clever. I kind of like this song." But that song, he's running around screaming Maria in the same basketball court where he ends up dying. Spoiler. Shouting
I
Chino.
didn't finish
or whatever.
it.
I thought that was cool though.
Chino.
He's same place,
Yeah.
shouting names.
Yeah.
Maybe it's accidental, but
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's technical stuff the movie does well. I just don't like the format of musicals. So it's like all lost on me.
I
This
really
one's-
didn't like this one.
Don't judge all musicals by this standard.
You were
That's
so
all I'll
excited
say.
for this.
I was excited. I'm sad.
Even she was like, she kept saying during it, like, we should have watched the
We
new
should have
one.
watched the new one. Which, to be fair, the new one is still a
within
longer
within
musical,
10
but
minutes, it was like, you know, the first basketball court scene where they're just snapping and like just messing with other white kids and stealing their basketball just to give it right back because, you know, that's gang
because that's
activity.
what gangs do.
Gang.
She literally was like, should we watch the new one?
I was like, should we turn this off and change
And
our
I'm
mind?
like, no, I think Carl's probably already watched it 5 times. We can't change the movie on it.
I would have been.
how many times did you
furious.
watch this one?
Just two, but the second watch was kind of a background watch, just so I could remember what was going on for like to prime myself for today. But yeah, it was a chore to get through the first watch.
It was rough,
So-
man. I was bored.
Yeah.
One thing that, and I'm gonna put Cameron. Did you watch the video I sent you
No.
earlier today?
I did
Dang
not.
it!
No,
I
I ate
assume not.
tacos instead. They were good tacos too.
Nice. So I'll butcher this, but I was watching a video earlier today of a guy who was like examining the music in the film. Like not the singing, but purely like the instrumentation, just the music. And it made me appreciate this movie a little bit better. And I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it's essentially at the very beginning of the movie you hear the whistles, right?
Yeah.
There's like a very distinct, like isolate, just a whistle. And that whistle is comprised of 3 notes. Chords?
Which are?
Notes.
Yeah, you can't whistle chords. That'd be crazy.
Got it. So there's 3.
If you
Wait,
can whistle
3
chords,
notes.
send in a video to thebiggerandpod@gmail.com. Because I want to see it.
All right. So 3 notes. Anyways, they take those 3 notes from that whistle at the very beginning of the movie, and whenever you see the jets on the screen, they play those notes in a specific way. When the sharks are on the screen, they play those same notes, but I guess in a reversed or upside down way.
Ooh.
Like a descending
And, like,
order.
Yeah, and you don't recognize it because it's spaced out, but I saw this guy put back-to-back clips of every time the song was played, and they play the same music over different clips in the movie. So the Jets have their own way. The Sharks, you hear another version of that. And what was cool about all this, and why I even bring it up, is, and Cameron, you might have to help me out here, but
I didn't watch the video.
both of those instances, those notes are unresolved.
Okay.
And if you were to resolve them,
They'd resolve in the
what
same
you
note.
would get is the music we hear when Tony and Maria is on the screen.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
So it's like
That's
symbolic
cool.
that Tony and Maria are the resolution to the 2 gangs always fighting.
So the composer at least cared.
Yeah, so like technically you could listen to the music and sort of get the same story
Yeah.
just with the music.
Just with music.
It's
That's
kind of
cool.
like
Cool.
how in Star Wars Episode 1, at the celebration scene at the very end of the movie where Boss Nass gets the crystal ball and whatever, That
Jeez.
yeah. The theme that plays during that is Palpatine's theme from Return of the Jedi, but in a major key. Just to shoehorn Star Wars in there, I had to.
Major
You have
key.
to every time.
Major key.
You always do.
You know what?
Another one.
Another one.
When life closes a door, just open it. Knowledge from DJ Khaled. I don't have anything to say else to say about this stupid movie. Does anybody else have anything to say?
No, just that the composer writer of the stage play is Stephen Sondheim, who's like a really, really famous writer. He wrote like Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd,
Oh,
lots of other stuff you probably wouldn't recognize. But it makes me sad that this movie was so bad.
I wonder if he liked
He
it.
deserved better. I wonder if he liked it too.
Is he dead?
I don't
Tweet him.
know.
He's
I
probably-
should know this.
Tweet him. Find him on Blue Sky.
Let's see. I have to know the answer. You don't
Look
have to wait. We can
Look him
keep
up on
talking.
Zell.
My only other note was just that the ending was absolutely trash.
Yes, that's
'Cause
what
it
I was
ends-
going to say.
It's Romeo and
It
Juliet.
ends as well, not even that. It ends with Tony getting shot and dying in her arms, and then she sings terribly to his face. But then the detective shows up. All the gangs are there. There's a dead body, and then
You
they all
missed
just
something.
slowly walk away.
You missed something.
What?
The very last thing he does is take Chino. Chino had the gun. He
He's
shot.
got his arm on his
Yeah,
back.
he took Chino. He arrested Chino at the very end. Or that's the implication I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still,
That's-
you're not going to let all these witnesses go.
Well, they don't know. They just know that they
It's
got
a different
the gun.
time.
Yeah, it's a different time. So you
There
know,
was
That
even
guy
a
had
point
no
when they
love
were-
for the Puerto Ricans either.
well,
So.
that was your
When they were,
that was
that's true.
That was your ticket under the piano for this movie. You missed Chino getting arrested.
Maria should have
No,
killed
but-
herself.
Maria
Romeo and
should have
Juliet-
killed herself. That's the
yeah.
biggest problem I had with this movie, other than it was a 3-hour drudge.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I thought,
I was like, if she had killed herself, I would have been like,
yeah,
Citizen
right.
Kane, where he's clapping. Like,
Now
like,
we're
but I was like,
talking.
now it's like, 'cause
I
then,
thought she was gonna be like, Chino, how do you work this thing? And put the gun in her mouth. And I'd have been
Right.
like, good
Yeah.
movie.
No,
because
you would
then
not.
that would have made sense. I mean,
If
that,
she
that would've
blew her
followed
brains out
the
all over the
insane-
jets, I would have been
Yeah.
like, that was
and it
crazy.
just did like some graffiti of like some like title credit.
It's the red ribbon from that transition
Yeah.
I hated.
Oh god, yeah. But that would have made sense with how chaotic her like love was. It's like, oh, he's gonna die and you're okay.
Yeah.
Like you were about to like lose your mind over this guy and he's gone and you're just gonna walk away with it. Like that's
Yeah.
not
The
resolution.
bullet's just the guy from Hamilton doing the thing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, fun fact about Hamilton in this movie. So the lady
Ooh.
who plays the bullet in Hamilton plays Anita in the 2021 version of West Side Story.
That's awesome.
How could we have possibly made that
What a
connection?
glow up.
That's great. Yeah. Oh, you were the bullet lady.
Yeah, yeah. And-
Is the bullet.
I loved your
I thought
work
you were gonna
doing
say-
this.
well, she
Anita
was a
from
whole
this movie.
dancer.
That's true.
Yeah, well, that was hilarious.
And Anita from this movie is like 91 right now.
Yeah.
She's still
She's just
kicking.
trying to
She's
I
still
think-
kicking?
do the bullet. Her hand's just shaking the whole time. It's like I don't think it's gonna hit him. Like he might be able to dodge
Oh,
it.
Stephen Sondheim died in 2021.
Oh.
He's dead.
So he didn't get to see a good
Who's
version
that?
of his script.
Probably not.
That's the creator of the he
Music-
did the thing.
Musical.
Yeah.
Mm.
He
Carl-
wrote it.
Carl Hamilton might be worth a watch just to see the stage. It's pretty neat.
No,
It's
it's,
really
you would
I've heard-
really
yeah.
enjoy it.
But
I've heard they
also,
do a lot of
I
We
mean,
should watch it together.
I'm
Carl, you should watch it with us.
I'm with you because I'm sick
What
to
is it, like,
tears.
3 hours?
Yeah, it's like a million years. I'm sick to tears of that.
I
those
love
songs,
it.
dude.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I'll watch it.
I've only seen it I've only listened to. I'm sick to tears of them. I've only listened through Hamilton 3 times. The first time I listened to it when we were in the big room. The second time when I saw it live in Tampa, and then the third time watching the Disney Plus version. Those are the only.
That's it?
That's it.
I always
With me.
just cherry picked the songs, so I never listened to it all the way through again.
Yeah, I like the boom goes the cannons song.
Boom goes the cannons. What's the
With
blood
the
and
blood
the
and the
shit
shit
spray?
spray. Yeah.
Boom.
I like
And
the
is
King
that the
George song.
We're
General
abandoned in
Washington
Gypsy
one?
Bay. Yeah.
It's a good song.
The guy that played the
We are
original King George
outgunned.
was Agent Smith in the new Matrix movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also,
The
like
weird,
the
world
Oh, and the
change.
new?
New.
Not in the one we
Okay,
watched.
I was about to
No.
be like, that's
The
incorrect.
Resurrection.
I was like, wait.
no,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Elrond, the high elf of Rivendell.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff, King George. Shout out to him.
Yep.
Slide into
great.
the DMs. Come on our show.
Yep. Email us.
I had another note. It was
Cash at
so
me.
the two gangs threatening each other with violence, and then the cop comes up with his club threatening violence with them. He's like, "You guys weren't gonna hit each other, were you? Because if so, I'm gonna hit you." It's like, it's not a real resolution.
Yeah. That cop is
So funny.
if we were to cast that movie today, I think I would cast like John C. Reilly as that cop or something.
Yeah. He
Make
could just
him-
like
That's a
dust
good-
off his uniform from gangs.
Make him a little goofier, you know,
Yeah.
but still like serious. I don't know. No Frank Sinatra in
else
this
would be a
movie
good
either,
one?
you guys.
Nope.
No,
What a sad day.
Sad.
he could have been. He was alive.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
Speaking
alive.
of cast,
Yeah, he didn't die till
The-
98.
the original choice for Tony was Elvis Presley,
What?
Dude, we
which
should
might have
put-
made this a good movie.
We should have watched an Elvis movie. There's like a couple I want to see.
Yeah.
And
That
you
would
know
have been
what?
so
But
interesting.
Elvis didn't want to do it because he didn't sing enough, and he didn't
Yeah.
like that.
You know how many Elvis movies are like rated highly? Like zero.
None.
Yeah, like none. You know how
I've
many
never
Frank
seen one.
Sinatra movies are rated? Like,
Prob-
also
Probably
zero.
none.
But
Well, we can kind of vouch for that.
actually, one of his dramas that he did when Hollywood was like panning him for not being a serious actor, he was like, "I'll show you not a serious actor," and he did a drama, and was rated very well. But no, yeah, we've watched a lot of stinkers from old Sinatra, but
yeah.
I'll watch a stinker with Sinatra in it because it's got Sinatra in it. And they stunk because he, like, you know, mob boss Frank Sinatra wouldn't do multiple takes. He's like,
Oh, really? That's
yeah, he really wouldn't.
Oh.
In fact,
That's hilarious.
when he had to do the movie we mentioned earlier was Guys and Dolls. There's a take where he is in a diner eating cheesecake, and they did that take so many times, each time with a fresh piece of cheesecake from the kitchen, and it, like, he got sick and really freaking furious. So his movies suffered because he hated doing multiple takes. But his movies also have him in them, so I'll watch them. And High Society is really good. It's a
So-
good Frank Sinatra movie.
So, Cameron, we talked off air this week about LA Confidential,
Yeah,
and I asked you who Frank Sinatra would play if he was in LA Confidential.
yeah,
And we came to the conclusion Jack, Kevin Spacey's character.
yeah.
Which, of course, he
Of
would.
course.
Who would Sinatra play in this movie? It'd have to be Tony,
Ooh.
right?
He might have had the same Elvis problem. Because he didn't often
Yeah.
play non-leads.
I feel like he wouldn't.
I think
He's
he'd make
not a
good,
romantic lead,
Bernardo.
though.
He's a romantic lead, but he's a snark. He's not a sappy,
Yeah, this is too sappy for him.
you know,
Would he be the leader of the Jets?
Tony or Riff?
Yeah, Riff.
Riff maybe, but Riff was killed off. I don't think Sinatra would let himself be killed on camera. It's hard to say, but probably Riff.
Or the detective?
The detective makes the most sense in like a maybe later in his career cameo role.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's already got their uniform.
again, I
Fedora
don't
and
know because I don't think any
Sure.
of the roles really tonally fit Sinatra.
Yeah.
Because he was such a, I mean, that dude was a baller. And an asshole. Not a good
Often
person.
go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's right. Whole blue eyes. Anything else? Should we do star ratings and move on?
I think I'm ready.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
star ratings and move on. Who
Let's
do we want
go.
to start with? Should we get just my negativity out of the way?
Let's do it.
I don't know if there's going to be a worse movie in this bucket for me.
There's still a lot of movies left to go.
I'm still nervous about the Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, yeah. Yeah, that's
Mainly
true.
the runtime.
It's long. I think it's the longest movie we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, I got through Return of the King, so that movie is 4 hours long
It's so long.
with the extended edition, which of course you must watch. No, West Side Story. It's low. It's definitely below 3. It's below average. I think even did we give Gangs of New York a 2? Did I give it a 2?
I gave it
you
a
gave
1.
it a 1 because you're a savage. I think I gave it a 2.
It deserved it.
I hated this movie.
Tyler, if you're listening.
He's not. I hated this movie. I'm going to give it... It's hard because you never know what the floor is until you reach it, you know? And this is only episode 17?
Yep.
So 18 movies because we did as episode 0 when our audio still sucked. worse than it already normally does. So it's like between 1 and 1.5, like for real. But I guess I can have multiple ones. So this is a 1-star movie. I hated it.
You can have as many ones as you
I hated it. I've enjoyed most of the movies we've watched. I'm really trying to keep momentum to watch more movies after watching this. I hated it. I have not. So normally when something's this bad, I just turn it off. But I gotta talk in this microphone about it, or I would not have. I might not have made it through the title sequence. I definitely would have fast forwarded through it. I would not have made it through the first basketball court scene. I would have not even seen a shark before I shut this movie off. Maria didn't kill herself. That was a pulled punch. She definitely should have. I don't know. The singing was bad. The directing was bad. The makeup was racist. The casting was also racist. I don't like Puerto Rican people as being called PRs for the whole movie. That seems just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Crappy movie. I don't get it. Tell me why I'm wrong in the comment section of our YouTube, or email us at thebiggroompod.com. Is not our email.
Wow.
I said it earlier. Thebiggroompod@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm very old. All right, somebody else go. I hated this movie.
Well, I guess as the other resident musical hater, I'll go. I mean, I don't love musicals, but I didn't hate this movie. I thought, the cinematography was pretty well done. I thought they did some pretty good staging. I thought they did some interesting stuff with the music where you have the duality of what's his name singing Tonight, and then the gang singing Tonight. And you have that kind of, combatant kind of thing going on with similar message but different meaning. So that was kind of cool. But, again, I just don't love the format. So it's still just kind of like lost on me. I'm like, all right, good job, but I don't care to keep watching. And I think the story of like guy and girl see each other and are like over the hills or over the moon about like infatuated love, but it's like it's not realistic. It's very fairy tale, so it's
Especially
not.
When it's
but I guess that also
fast-tracked.
goes with the genre of musical too.
Yes,
But it just feels
quick.
tired and just it's so you always have to wear your just belief suspenders or whatever, but these I really had to put them on, So
Mine broke.
yeah, and like it was entertaining in that like it's funny seeing tough guys frolic around the city, and be so dramatic. So I liked it, but I think that's for the wrong reasons. My favorite arc, honestly, with the whole thing was when that like tomboy, the butch girl,
Yeah,
got
she got
accepted
in.
into the group. I was like, good for you. I was like, good for him. That was like I thought that was the most compelling arc of the whole movie.
It only
more
took
than
the
this, like,
leader of the
ridiculous
gang
love story.
dying.
Yeah, it took a generation dying away and letting the new generation make an improvement. Too bad that's not a relevant
60s?
theme for today. But I guess going to themes too, I think the theme of the movie, while being pretty dated, is still timeless today. Maybe not the same exact situation, but I think there's always the new group, outside think, group think kind of thing. So the story's good. I just don't love the format. I think if this had been done in more of a dramatic story, it would have been really good. I just don't love the musical motifs. But I think I'll give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Wouldn't watch it again, but not terrible.
We really did let a masculine presenting female in an all male gang on the silver screen before we let black people vote. All right, Nick, go ahead.
Jeez. Man,
It's true. Thanks, America.
Do better.
I'm torn on this one because the whole time I was watching it, I hated it. I was mad at the plot. I was mad at the singing.
But one
was
YouTube
mad.
video tells you
Well,
that
no,
the
no.
songs were neat.
No, not even that. Not even that. I especially was mad at the Tony and Maria relationship. Like,
Okay.
that was so quick. To quote Ron Burgundy, that escalated so quickly. Like he was dead within 24 hours of meeting this chick. So that was weird, and I didn't like that.
Pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
I wrote down everyone lives in a fantasy. Like there was the cop sketch where there was like multifaceted like layers to it. The wedding set, they're not sketches. I call them sketches, whatever. The wedding sketch where they're like
Those were good
like
bits.
acting out getting married after
Oh,
knowing each
yeah.
other for 18 hours. Like
Yeah.
It was
So I was
very
just-
like adolescent, which I guess it was supposed to be. It's just hard when the actors are like 33.
Yeah, to play that,
that was the other thing I
naive-
wrote down. Was it a school dance at the beginning? Like, are they in school?
Yeah. That's
that's
what
what
I
it's
got it
supposed to be.
as.
They didn't do a good job explaining that either. So yeah, I was mad watching it last night, but looking back at my notes today and thinking about it today, I just kind of laughed.
It's aging better for you.
Like it was fun, I guess. Like really light-hearted, nothing super deep. It was fun to watch. I wouldn't watch it again. I'd watch the new one. I want to watch
We should watch the
newer
new
one
one.
for sure.
We should watch the new one and do a redux.
But
What-
without like looking at every detail as I'm watching it and being angry, I look back on it and it was fine. So
Oh.
I'll give it a 3.
3. Average movie. What's it like not
Yeah.
being a bitter old man? All right, Danielle. You're a residential musical knower.
I am.
You've been to Broadway
I have been to Broadway.
and you saw Shrek no,
I
what
did
did you
not
see?
see Shrek.
Oh, that
Spider-Man?
would be sick.
I've seen 4 musicals ever? 3.
Really?
Wicked
How many times do you go to New York?
twice.
You saw 2 in one go?
Yes. So the
Shoot,
first
this
time I went to
river.
New York, I saw Wicked, and then the second time we saw Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark and Phantom of the Opera.
Spider-Man turned off the dark.
Was that the one where
turn
everyone
off
was
the
getting
dark.
injured?
Yes.
Spider-Man, turn on the
That's
lights.
awesome.
That
Was
it's
it good?
honestly crazy that I saw it because there's a lot of like drama and like craziness surrounding that, and it closed pretty early.
Yeah, where's
Um,
that documentary?
I can't. It wasn't my
Spider-Man
favorite.
stuck in the web.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite musical, but it was really like the way they staged everything was really cool and modern, and they had like 8 Spider-Men flying around. So
Your favorite's Wicked, right?
yes,
Oh, that's
it
kind
is.
of dope.
It is.
Oh boy. All right. What about
Also-
this one?
This one, well, I don't love the story of Romeo and Juliet. Just because I think it's silly.
Suck it, Shakespeare.
It's silly, Shakespeare. Come on.
You're so dead and dumb.
What were you thinking?
We've been to your theater though. It's pretty neat.
It was pretty neat. Well, a replica of your theater.
Yeah, it's true. It was on
Mm.
the other side of the Thames.
So it really hurts my heart that I don't love this because I love the
You like
movie
the
musical.
newer one?
I like the newer one. It's not one that I like to go back to a lot.
Oh.
La
La La Land's better, huh?
Yeah, I love La La Land. And like Hairspray. I like
Hairsplay's hilarious because
I was thinking
I
about doing
kinda wanna
La La
watch
Land.
Hairspray.
dude, John
We
Travolta.
gotta watch La La Land, guys. We're watching.
John Travolta.
Because I was like, we've seen the old. I feel like Singing in the Rain's like an old, like timey musical. This is a little bit more modern, and then an actual neo-modern. I wanted to kind of see.
La La Land is very modern, but I feel like it has that old Hollywood like feel and like glamour.
a little bit of
it.
like
and it's less singing. It's more
It
talking
is.
too.
Yes.
and
Okay,
reserved
then
like
I might be able to get through.
like
that.
reserved campiness in La La Land. That's at least how it looks in the trailers. Is like
It's very colorful. Like
Yeah.
it's very
the camp
colorful
is more
and
like
bright.
a nod at you, like
right,
we know what
exactly.
we're doing. Okay.
It's campiness with a wink.
yeah.
Because like the story isn't campy, but like there's a few like kind of there's an epilogue sequence where they're kind of like going through like a movie set, and it's very like bright and dance and like campy, but it's meant to kind of be an imagination.
Okay.
So it's not like this kind of is.
La La Land.
So La La Land's so good. But anyways, my rating, I'm gonna go to 5 because
Wow, can't believe.
I know it
Dating
really
twins.
hurts me to rank a musical below average, but the singing wasn't very good. The story, the acting, meh. But I do like a lot of the songs taken individually.
Okay.
I think they're catchy, so
Yeah, some are stuck in my head.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm
yeah, that's what I would
I'm
do.
the big meanie this week.
I will say though,
What'd you give it, Cameron?
A 1.
I've ranked things lower. I've had the lowest ranking in general. You called yourself a grumpy old man. I've been the grumpiest about most of these movies.
Yeah, but when you're
You're
grumpy,
pretty brutal.
I don't know. I've got a certain vitriol.
Vitriol?
I'm a spicy boy.
Good word from the Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah. It means I'm a pissy poo.
Ah. Can confirm.
I've got a question. It's the same one as last week. I want to know everybody's favorite thing that they watched that wasn't this heap of garbage. And we'll start with me, because I've been watching something that makes me, unlike this movie, very happy. I've got a new happy show. You know how I get my happy shows.
I do.
I get my happy. Do you remember my last happy show? I don't know. I don't remember my last happy show.
Was it Dirty Jobs?
Dirty Job. I was on a
It might
Dirty
have been
Jobs
Dirty
script.
Jobs.
It was Dirty Jobs. I like my happy shows. But this happy show is Somebody Feed Phil, or Someone Feed Phil, whatever the hell it's called. Somebody Feed Phil. It's on Netflix.
It's a British show?
No. It's an
No?
American man.
What am I thinking of?
I have no idea. Somebody Feed Phil is Phil, whatever the hell his last name is, and he created Everybody Loves Raymond. With Raymond, of course.
And no one's feeding him.
And nobody's feeding him. So he travels around, and it's kind of like, what if a little bit less, like if you took Jeff Goldblum and dialed the whimsicalness down by like, you know, to make him kind of a normal person, but like,
Oh, don't do that.
still a little bit like hilarious
Yeah.
and quirky. Give that guy a food show. So
I mean, he's like a happy Anthony Bourdain.
yeah, which, you know, takes all the essence out of Anthony Bourdain.
But just, I don't know. He
The
goes
show could
around.
run longer though.
Anthony Bourdain's show is very much like get to know the people and look at the downsides of where we're at, and you know he did it. So both shows did Israel, and Anthony Bourdain's was a very real look at Israel and the Palestine struggle and all that stuff. And this guy was like, "I'm Jewish and I'm in Israel. Isn't this neat?" But
Yeah.
it's because it's very much it's I don't know. It's happy maybe to a fault because it doesn't look at really anything negative about any of the places he goes to. It's all positive, but it makes it a really easy watch. It makes me hungry all the time, and I want to eat a lot of food. I can't wait for him to do Italy because I'm just gonna want
so
pizza
good.
forever. So
Nom, nom,
that's
nom.
I
mine.
had pizza today and the last few days
Who-
because I ordered a deep dish pizza from this place, and it was like $30, but it's 6
Wow.
slices and it's like this thick, and you can eat one meal or like one little piece and that's a whole meal.
What's that
so you
place
have
we
like a
went
week of
to?
food.
What's
$30.
What's the pizza place he took us to?
5 points.
That
Oof,
place is lit.
That's some good pie.
So they had
So
some good
good.
beer
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
we got to go back to Nashville.
Yep.
Who
Yeah.
else? Who else had a thing that they watched that was their favorite that wasn't this?
This week I watched an episode of Carpool Karaoke,
Oh, I know where you're going with
Paul McCartney, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
We had the
So it was
same
James
journey.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am on the same journey.
We had the
that you
same
a couple
journey.
years ago.
I just did this 6 years ago. Or 5
6
years
years.
ago.
Wow.
Yeah. We were
Um,
freshly married, so 5 years
so-
ago.
Oh.
Oh, marriage. We're still
Marriage.
doing it.
We did
Not
it.
divorced yet.
Let's go.
So yeah, that same thing got me into the Beatles, and you're doing the same shit.
Yeah, so it's him, Paul McCartney on Carpool Karaoke with James Corden.
Yeah,
Corden.
the guy that used to have a show.
Yeah. But they're in Paul's hometown, going through like
Yeah, they're in
all
Liv-
the old
they're in
Beatle
Liverpool.
places and stuff that their songs were written about. It's like
go-
30 minutes.
they
It's
go to
incredible.
Penny
Everyone
Lane.
should watch it.
Benny
Yeah.
Lane.
So
They go
I'll
to
say
his old house.
when they go to his old house and he's in the bathroom talking about writing songs with John. I remember watching that episode, and she takes about 4 hours to get ready for bed every night.
It's false.
So
It's inaccurate.
and our bathroom wasn't connected to our room when we were in the apartment. Carl lived across the hall from us.
Oh yeah.
And we were in the bedroom that didn't have the bathroom because the bathroom was bigger. The like master bedroom was a bigger room, but had a tiny useless
It's
bathroom.
so small.
Mm-hmm.
So she was across the hall, and I'm watching this, and she's taking a whole 100 years to get ready. And the part where they go into Paul's childhood home, I got teary, and I never get teary. And
I got
Aw.
teary for sure.
that made
Wow.
me teary, and I teared up a couple times. Like he's in Penny Lane. This is the best. It's a good episode.
I got teary so in the car they sing "Let It Be,"
Oh, they all get
and
teary.
then James talks about his grandpa like always playing that song for him, and he's like, "Oh, my grandpa would get a kick out of this." And then Paul McCartney goes, or like he's like,
If he
would
was
get a kick
here.
out of this if he was here,
And he's like,
and Paul
is.
McCartney's like, he is,
He is.
and then there's just silence for a second. I was like,
That's so good. So you've been listening to the Beatles then.
So I've only listened to their first album. I've decided that I'm going to take.
So you've only listened to Please
I've
Please
decided
Me.
I'm going to take a week. Yeah, a week with each album.
That's a
Take it
good.
slow. I'm going to listen to only this album for
He's
this
on a
week.
journey.
Let me know. So
I'm going to figure out what my favorite songs are, which ones I don't like.
Try to remember to bring this up every week, but especially when you listen to. I have a kind of a weird take. My favorite Beatles album is Rubber Soul. So when you listen to Rubber Soul, which will be in 3 or 4, maybe 5 weeks, we got to talk about that.
3 or 4 or
It's
5.
like in the middle of their discography. So, yeah, go the Beatles. Carl,
I wanna hold your
the heck have you been watching?
hand.
Just
I
hang on.
went-
I just want to go on record.
Oh, wait. Go ahead.
Oh,
Favorite song, and I'll give you my favorite song each week. Favorite song
Ooh.
off Please Please Me. Anna, go to him.
Okay. Also, when you find out, and it's way too early, you have to get 6 or 7 records in before you decide. We need to know if you're a John or a Paul guy.
Yep.
I'm a Paul
We'll
guy.
see.
And our other friend David, who we were talking with Nick about this, he's also a Paul guy. But
Which
yeah.
makes me want to be
Trying to
a
be
Lennon
contrarian.
fan just because. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. For me,
old
Paul
pot
wrote
stirrer Nick.
he wrote Yesterday.
Yesterday.
He wrote Blackbird. He wrote Let It Be. He
Blackbird
wrote
singing in the dead of night.
he wrote all that. Now John's got some.
He wrote that Christmas song.
Oh shit.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The
What a
moon is up. The snow is cold.
and that's enough.
A wonderful Christmas time. Go fuck yourself.
What a shit song. Carl, what'd you watch?
I went from West Side Story to Toy Story.
Wow.
Oh,
one?
classic.
The first
oh my
one?
God, Toy
The
Story,
first?
the first one, and what
Nice.
like literally a masterpiece. It is so good. The animation. I will say there's some uncanny valley when they show the people, but the rest of it holds up. It's fantastic. The story's great. The character design is out of this world, iconic. If you don't get a little teary when he's like, "I'm not flying, I'm falling with style."
Yeah.
You're like, we're not aiming for the truck.
You watched it as a kid, right? Of course.
Oh yeah, I grew up.
watched it.
I still have a lot of it memorized. I was pretty surprised.
How much did you want your army men to be like those army men?
I would like literally like hide under the covers and be like, "All right, I'm asleep," and like you'd like try to creak the door open and
Yeah.
see, and you'd be like, "Come on, just do it in front. I won't tell anybody." Like,
It's like the putting
you
army
really
men
thought
I was putting
my
army
Legos
men
were
in
just gonna build
plants.
themselves a city, and yeah,
Oh, dude, what a good movie. What about you?
it's
What'd
an
you
amazing
watch?
movie.
I don't have a favorite thing that I watched.
Oh my god.
But I have a least favorite thing that I
ruined
watched.
the segment. All right.
No, but I
New
have a
segment.
hot take.
Oh god.
It's not a hot take because this movie's trash. So there's a new Chris Evans and Anna
Oh,
de
yeah.
Armas movie, and they're both great, lovely people, attractive people. It's like I'll watch this movie. It's called Ghosted. It's on Apple TV Plus. So it's garbage. I turned it off.
not even
20.
40 minutes
No,
in, yeah.
20 to 30 minutes in, I was like, this is terrible.
What's it about?
This is terrible. It's about, so Chris Evans is like a love struck guy. He like overtexts girls that he likes. So he meets Anna de Armas's character. I'm probably saying her last name wrong. Sorry, Anna. And so he falls in love with her, but she's actually in the CIA. So he goes to meet her in London because he's like, she's ghosting me. I'm going to go surprise her in London because that's a good idea when someone's ghosting you. So then he accidentally ends up in the middle of her like CIA like secret mission and gets like kidnapped by the bad guys. And
Sounds amazing.
then
It's horrendous.
like trailer looked pretty good. Looked like kind
Chris
of a
Evans
campy
doesn't
action
get
movie.
ghosted. Chris Evans ghosts.
Yeah.
Right?
I was in the room for maybe 10 minutes and it was like the effects were bad.
It was
like
so
like
bad.
like bullet contact on the ground, like the smoke it brings up. I was like, what did they use, like After Effects from 2005?
But like every car blows up.
Like if you missed the keyhole like with your keys, your car would explode in this movie. Like that's all it took. And the dialogue was
the dialogue was so
wooden.
bad.
And you could tell like Chris Evans was just because Chris,
like, he deserves
he's
better.
obviously a good actor, right? He's
Yeah.
obviously one of the
Why is he
pinnacle
he doesn't need to-
actors of our generation.
Understand.
But the
He can have any role he
director,
wanted. Why would he pick these bad roles?
right?
the
I don't
director
understand.
must be a donkey, which concerns me because one of the movies he's up for
Oh no.
is the next Sherlock Holmes, and I love the clearly kind of terrible Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. I love
They're pretty
them.
great.
I
they're like
love
They're
campy, too.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I love them, which means I can't really say anything about movies because I love those movies so much. But he's directing the next one and he's ass.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just Apple TV. I don't know, dude. It was terrible. But I'm with you. That movie sucked.
Yeah.
You were asking me like I'm on my phone.
It's like all
reading.
these algorithm shows. It's like, well,
I
they're
was
popular
like-
right now. Let's put them together in this thing and spit it out. It's like this
Well,
heartless.
I was like, do I
content.
To be
suffer
fair,
through?
I'm like, no. I'm on my
didn't.
phone like reading sports articles. I'm like, you got to turn this off.
I
It's
didn't
terrible.
suffer through. I turned it off.
As an Apple fanboy, I must say, Apple's just throwing money at production companies and putting their name on it.
Yeah.
So it's not really an
It's
Apple.
It's not Apple's fault.
Leave
And
my
that's
favorite
fine.
company alone.
Well, I wasn't
No,
saying
they
it was
are
their
paying
fault.
for
I
it,
was just
so.
saying that's the platform it's on.
Leave Britney alone.
Follow the money.
All right. So that's our favorite things that we watched, or least favorite things that we watched.
That's my
on
favorite,
Sunday.
least
So,
favorite thing.
I wanted to bring. I have a couple more questions. So I have a coworker, and I noticed that this person.
Had a coworker.
No, I have a coworker. Nick and I have a coworker. I was in the office with this person, and I noticed that they were driving me up the freaking wall.
I noticed they were annoying me.
I noticed. Well, they were annoying me, and what it was on their MacBook, they were like doing a lot of something, and they were clicking the trackpad in, like clicking it. So
I know who you're talking
many
about.
times, and it was so loud. Maybe their laptop just sucks. Their trackpad's super clicky, and I like pretty much never click my trackpad, and I just tap it. So I want to know: are you tappers or clickers?
I didn't know you
I'm
could click
tapped.
it.
You're a tapper. You're a tapper.
Yeah.
You don't have a laptop that clicks.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, my laptop. Well, I think I tap, but I feel like on my laptop sometimes the tap doesn't work, so then I have to I have a trackpad and then buttons
So
because that's what my job gives
Yeah.
me is a laptop with buttons.
I think if I'm trying to like really nail it, like if it's like the little X's and pop-ups, like I'll click that to make sure I
Out of anger.
Well, no, because to tap you gotta lift and tap, and when I'm just clicking, you can like move your finger and then just while it's there.
Oh yeah, you can just push down.
Yeah, you can just push down. But like they were
I definitely
clicking.
feel cooler when I tap. Like I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like a cool girl.
You're like,
when
I
Hang
spent
on.
$2,500 on this thing. I'm gonna
I'm
tap.
gonna tap. Yeah.
I lied to you.
So you're a clicker.
I'm sitting here in my notes, and if I were to highlight stuff, I would definitely
Highlighting though, because it's either click and drag or a double tap, and that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are
I guess I
certain
do
That's
things.
both.
different.
There are certain
When I
things that
highlight a click,
require.
yeah, yeah.
There's certain things that require or are much easier
I
with a
could
click.
still tap.
But bro, I'm saying.
I think you
I'm
can
a
also, yeah, there could be two kinds of clickers too, because there can be like really distinct clickers that are like pecking, and there could be like tap clicks.
They were, dude.
Yeah.
With the noise I was hearing, going to town on that thing.
How
And
can
probably
you make it
nails,
make
too.
that much noise?
I don't know. And then I have one more thing. I want to know. So when I'm at home alone, I do sometimes weird things.
Only
that-
when you're home alone?
I do weird things all the time. But so I was thinking, because you've made fun of me for this, and then I did it the other day, and I was like, this is kind of weird. I'm going to write it
Oh,
down
I don't
and bring it
know.
up. So when I'm home alone, I want to know if anybody else does anything like this or similar. Or maybe I'm just a weirdo. When I'm home alone, I lock the bathroom door still.
No, you're a weirdo.
No one's coming in. The front door is locked. The back door is locked. The bedroom door is shut, but not locked. Sometimes I
that's,
lock that on accident. You get mad at me.
Yeah, he locks me out of the bathroom and the bedroom sometimes, and I'm like, what if I need to go into the bedroom?
No girls allowed.
Like,
No, I'll be
I-
home alone and I will lock the bathroom door because I'm like, don't come in here. Nobody.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
interesting.
think I ever lock the bathroom door at home.
thank you.
What? She's like, come
I
on in,
shut it.
Dad.
No, I shut it.
Yeah, and
just-
lock it.
Trust my family knows I'm in there.
No.
Because
Yeah,
the
your
door's shut.
your family's weird. My family, I never locked the bathroom door, and nobody ever came in on me when I was in the bathroom.
So not
That
only
being
that,
said, I do have to lock my bedroom door at night.
Oh, I don't even shut.
Like
mine.
it bothers me when it's unlocked.
Ours is open.
Ooh.
I don't know what I think's gonna happen.
All right, so I'm weird. It's fine. Should we pick a movie?
Yeah.
No, let's pick
Let's
a
pick a
movie
movie.
and get the hell out of
Ooh, I
here.
just burped.
I want to watch more Somebody Feed Phil. I feel like we
I
don't
wanna
have
watch
like
Ted
this doesn't
Lasso.
look like a ton of tickets, right?
It doesn't.
No. How
But-
many is it?
So many left.
It's like
Like 38?
what's
Third.
52 minus 17? Like a lot.
Ow, this hurts my ears.
Like twice as much as we've already done. We're about yeah, we've done Q1. It's May.
Oh, guys.
True.
We're entering Q2.
Wait, Q2 is April.
Can't wait to see our year over year.
Yeah,
We're
Q2 is
in
April.
Q2.
We're in Q2.
We're
at us.
firmly in the middle.
Look at us.
Hmm.
Oh
Nah.
my god.
No.
Is this a good or a bad? Oh
I
my
don't
god.
know. It's a drama, I think. It's Rain Man.
Ooh, okay. It's good. I liked it.
I don't.
Who
know.
is in it? Is it?
That's Tom Cruise and
Tom Cruise.
Dustin Hoffman.
Let's read the
Rain
thing.
Man.
Yeah,
Let's
give
read
us a
Read the
full
thing.
summary.
Read the thing.
Read it.
We'll read
That's
the
the
thing.
weather guy.
Tell us.
When Tom dealer Car Cruise. When car dealer Charlie Babbitt, Tom Cruise, learns that his estranged father has died, spoilers, he returns home to Cincinnati, where he discovers that he has an autistic older brother named Raymond, Jesus Christ, Dustin Hoffman, and that his father's $3 million fortune is being left to the mental institution in which Raymond, I don't know why that's funny. Motivated by his father's money, Charlie checks Raymond out of the facility in order to return him with him to Los Angeles. Their brother's cross-country trip ends up changing both of their lives. That's weird.
I don't know how I feel.
It's interesting.
Is it a drama? Is that correct?
It's a
Carl?
drama, but it's kind of got some comedy to it, and it's heartfelt.
All right, so it's not like we're not going to be bummed out the
It's
whole
not
time.
a depressed drama.
No, it's not a depressing, unless you like stop halfway through, I guess.
Okay.
That'd be
How? Well, it's
rough.
most important thing is runtime. It's over 2 hours, Nick.
Dang it.
Let's see.
Toy
from
Story
IMDb.
was
I'm
only like an
embarrassed.
hour and a half.
Why is
if
every
that.
movie so long?
2 hours and 13 minutes.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed. I just had to Google who Dustin Hoffman was,
I don't know who it is
What is
either,
he
so don't
in?
be embarrassed.
but now I remember him. He is from Hook.
He's 85. I don't know. I've
He
not
is
seen Hook.
rather.
Oh, he's Captain Hook and Hook.
Yeah.
Finding
I guess I've never really seen any of his movies, other than Hook.
Marathon Man. I haven't
which
seen that.
I haven't seen Peter Pan, only Hook, which is
It's
hysterical.
hilarious. Dude, I don't know what
One
this
of my
is. Kung
favorite
Fu
moments
Panda
with David
2.
was him realizing that.
Who is he in Kung Fu Panda?
He's
Whatever.
the wise, tiny
Oh.
mouse. What is it?
Oh, the mouse guy
I think, yeah.
who's like swarmy.
Yeah, I'll have to look
Never
that
seen
up
it.
after this.
He's not the old turtle.
No.
Okay.
He's like the mean,
Yeah, mean. Yeah,
master
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like short, yeah, and he's like taking the dumplings from him.
You'll have to look
Enable
up
it.
swarmy. Got
Yeah.
it. All right, well, let's get out of here. We're gonna watch Rain Man, I guess.
I guess.
Whose fault? I think this is a Steven movie.
Oh, Steven.
I just want to watch Godfather. Why is this so
And no,
hard?
I'm really excited for
All I want
Godfather.
to do is watch Godfather. Oh
Sure
my
you wanna,
god!
right?
Now I've got to watch Rain Man. Got to watch Tom Cruise, and not even the Tom Cruise movie I want to watch. Top Gun's in there.
Yep.
Now I got to watch Rain. End the show. See you next week. See ya. Bye.